Yes, how you doing? And I'm gonna hide the comment section, chat message, whatever, because I don't feel like chatting with nobody. I just saw the video and it's been shared about the Alton Sterling, and sadly that the cop got away with this, whatever. And he also was, I heard he was also fired. I have to do more research on that, but I saw the video, and I'm gonna give you my take. People gonna hate whether it be on Alton Sterling's side or either on the cop side. Okay, let's be known. This is my take. No biases. Regardless what you look at me as, I don't let people define me. I go by what's in my background. My background is African American, French, Spanish, Creole, English, Irish, American. So I don't look white, but it's in there. I don't go by one drop rule. I don't go black nationalism or white nationalism. Of course, the white nationalism can't pass away, and I hate the knowledge, it hates me. Okay, talking about the white nationalism. So I'm gonna have all tax. So I'm gonna put my black boxing gloves on. Okay, now. In the video, the cop came to Alton. One thing the cop did not do was not inform that he had a warrant on arrest on Alton. Alton, to let Alton know that the reason why he was arresting him, and he said, "Come with me." You don't do that to a person. First of all, as American citizens, civil rights, American citizens, they have a right to know why they're being arrested. They also have to know the warrant, because you just can't grab somebody and arrest them. By law, they have to know why they're being arrested. And while you arrest them, take them in custody, you have to read them their rights. And of course, if they have an attorney and everything else. That was unprofessional on the cops' part. Of course, Alton Sterling should never have rejected the man. But Alton Sterling, the reason why that he got upset with the cop, because it was shocking to why I'm getting arrested. Yeah, he had warrants, but if they're not current, okay, and he did his time, that doesn't matter. There has to be a warrant that's open in that, in his record. Okay, so I don't want to bring about past when people make mistakes. Have these cops do worse than people who never get caught yet. Okay, who have been caught or human locked up. So don't human. Okay, it's called like it is. So yes. Alton should never have resisted arrest, because when you meet a cop, you don't do that. But as a human, okay, let's put the badge away. Yes, that's authority. But before that badge, that's a human being. You don't know what their intention, I forget for the sermon. You don't have the intention is good or bad. And then two, if you've been falsely accused, by law, you have a right to know either you are accused, whether you did it, or you're guilty or innocent. You have a right to know why you're being subject to arrest, and you have to prove you're innocent to proven guilty in a court of law, right? Okay. So the cop violated Alton Sterling rights. He also touched him. You don't touch on a civilian. If here in Texas, that could be considered as official oppression. A lot of people are just going by emotions, but we're also going to read about the human rights of your laws. And I tell my people, African Americans and other minorities, to please put the law book on your phone. I have the apps of penal codes, whatever, so I can know my rights. Okay? So, human rights violation, you don't grab somebody. But yes, by law, Alton Sterling should never had a resist, but at the same time, we gotta put more on the cop, because the cop is authority, and you do have a higher standard. If you don't meet your higher standard, you are guilty of whatever comes out. That's very true. So how you handle the situation as authority, if you make bad fruit, you get bad fruit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So in this case, he should never came and approached him in that manner. Of course, we're taught as civilians, if a cop approach you and arrest you, you need not to talk less, whatever. That's what Alton Sterling messed up. Okay? Sterling, excuse me. Now, Alton Sterling was still, if you psychologically understand, he was still shocked, and he looked at the cop as any other human, because the cop, as a professional, went under his profession, went overboard his authority, acted unprofessionally, which led to provoked Alton Sterling to act the way he acted. When you're in police training, and I'm not in police training, but I've talked to cops before, and also I'm a security officer, I tell my business. You're taught how to handle a situation to avoid any conflict. There was no avoiding conflict matter with the cop. The cop should know in his training, and he should have went back to his academy, that you don't go to a civilian without reading their rights, getting a warrant, and letting them know in a professional manner. The only time you put out your gun is when your life is threatened. And of course, I understand people going to say, well, Alton Story grabbed his weapon, which he shouldn't have never done. But we had to go back to the beginning of the situation. Alton Story did not know that he was being arrested. Okay? And imagine if you was being approached by a cop, you did not know why you're being arrested. You're going to automatic as a human to react. And that the one thing the academy, if they're not teaching, is not teaching the psychology of a human being and how to respond to certain situations. In this situation, he should never approach Alton Story in the unprofessional manner. But we're going to use hypotheses. My hypothesis is, by being this racist country, in a historical racist country it is, he saw an African American man, him as a white cop. Not all white people are racist. Not all African Americans people are racist or bigots or either criminals and think they were white people. People are individuals. But historical, we know the patterns. The pattern that he approached, we're looking at a historical matter when people, of course, back in the day getting lynched and killed and all this other stuff. And this country treating people, if anybody would drop a black DNA, that's why even Hispanics don't want to admit they have black DNA, or anybody of color, period, treated in a dehumanizing manner, especially with the issue of slavery and Jim Crow, and also the genocide of Native Americans, if you know your history, okay? So if you see those attitudes in that person's behavior and you go historical reference to it, that's why, okay? I want people to understand that. Now, the cop, the way how he approached, I would like to ask the cop, if I was on the witness stand, if I was a judge, if I was a jury duty, and asking the person, if he was a Caucasian man, would you approach him the same way? Even though, hold up, we gotta admit that African Americans, we all mix with Caucasian and American, okay? But let's say he looked like he could pass for white, and you did not know he was mixed, or he was fully Caucasian genetically, okay? Would you approach him in that manner? I would love to ask that question, because if you say you're not racist, we would like to see him get a white criminal, okay, an examination of that and see whether he would approach it. Because if we have body cam and doing that, then we see that equally he treated everybody the same. If we see a different pattern, then we know that it was a bystander, because he's treating people based on their race or how they look, and it's been getting treated different results on his behavior, okay? Now, the point is, yes, I'll go ahead and say that Alton should never have reached for anything or should resist, because by law, and you didn't, and it's like, and I will put it this way, it's not coonery. If I saw a snake, okay, a cobra, okay, and I'm going to use it because he was acting like a cobra, talking about the cop, I'm not going to approach the cobra by attacking it. Of course, you'll get away from it. It's a human being who in authority can you get away from it, okay, because you have to be subject to the authority. But you have to handle yourself differently when you're in a dangerous situation. One thing I tell my brothers that have masculine mentality, it didn't say this, brother. Stop it, okay? I'm not saying be weak-minded and be strong. Be weak-minded and be physically weak. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is use your brain, okay? And I have to say that he should have used his brain. But at the same time, with the cop, he had no reason to shoot the guy. Yeah, if you're being approached, but if you already in the beginning of the story, beginning of the situation, if you came in an ugly manner, it's going to cause chaos. It's like me coming to a room and start cursing people out. People don't react to it, okay? So, do you understand? You had to come in a calm, professional manner. Say, sir, is your name Alton Sterling? Okay, I'm Officer Will. I have a warrant for your arrest. And he go at 9:10 ask why I'm being arrested. Well, you have charges on you, and I'm sorry we had to take you downtown. Okay, if he would have came in that manner, this whole situation would never happen. Okay, people going by the emotions of he should never resist, but they forget that everybody is human in this situation, and the fact that if you've been approached, and I would love to put white people who and anybody of color who are not African American, don't identify with Africans, Latinos do have a majority of black DNA, including Mexico, okay? Don't maybe look like exotic looking, but we gonna call it like it is, okay? Put you not in blackface, but put you look more darker, especially look darker than me, okay? Imagine you walking around how people treat you, which I know many of y'all don't want to do that, but we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to make a judgment. And if a cop approaches you in that manner, you automatically will act the same doggone way too, because you're shocked that you never got this type of treatment, or you have. And you gotta understand, yes, he had a past criminal record, but a lot of people change, and he didn't even let the guy know why he was being arrested, which made a big scenery. Okay, of course, once again, now people gonna come in my comments and say, well, he should resist, because you're right, he should resist. And like I said, it's like fighting a cobra, a tiger. If it's like a pit bull. We'll use a pit bull. They always tell you don't run from a pit bull or don't attack a pit bull. Just stand there and it will go away. Okay, most likely because dogs react when you act. Okay, and I have been in a situation where dog and I reacted. Actually, I started praying. Okay, and the dog went away. Yes, it happened. Trust me, it has. God had works mysterious ways. I ain't perfect, but I can be witness to that. Okay, all right. Well, if you saw a pit bull, okay, you're not going to run from it, knowing that it can fast track you, okay? Pit bulls can run a mile, okay? Or if you saw a puma or any other wild cat in the jungle, you're going to try your best to keep calm and make sure it goes away. That's anything how you approach these rowdy cops, okay? This is for anybody. And there's time you can be assertive. I wanted to have to be assertive to a cop when I was being the victim of a crime. The cop didn't want to stop the crime, the perpetrator, okay? And I had to, because I've been told the authority and they wouldn't do anything. That's why I even got electives, okay, election of people and politicians, because they're politicians about this problem. Yes, I did. You gotta fight your rights. One thing, our people in our community, meaning them, suffer of a lack of knowledge. Okay, it is a dual situation. It's evil people in power, but if you're not knowing your rights and how to protect yourself, and I'm not to bring it, I ain't perfect, I don't curse a lot, but the Bible, y'all heard me say it many times, say people suffer of a lack of knowledge. Okay, so you have to know how to approach a cop, how to deal with a cop. It's like dealing with a pit bull. Pit bulls are wild and very aggressive and abrasive. You're not going to attack a pit bull knowing that it can attack you, right? Okay, it's going to eat you alive. No matter how you strong you are, it's going to find ways. It's very smart. That's how you approach these rowdy cops. And every cop is like that, but the cop this way. And Alton stores should never have reacted. But at the same time, I can't get mad, because the officer who's supposed to be trained and professional didn't come to him in a professional manner, which as a human, it provoked all these problems. Okay? If we held cops on high standard, they're supposed to act and serve and protect. And that means serve people with respect and honor as well. It gets a mutual respect because they're still human. It's no different. This is Good Friday right now, about to be Easter Vigil, okay? During Holy Week. As Jesus say, those who want to lead has to serve, okay, not to be served. And they're forgetting that those paychecks, those are tax dollars. So that's besides being human, we're paying through our tax dollars because I work, okay. And every year we get a tax return. Those taxes they take it out, they go to your paycheck if you're a cop. So you're responsible to treat me with respect too, because you're working for me as well. You're helping me and protecting me and keeping all of us in line. But at the same time, you're supposed to be a mutual respect. And one thing that I get tired of hearing, because you're authority, that doesn't mean because you're authority you act like the Theophilus. The Theophilus was the one who was acting all domineering and rude in the church, in the early Christian church, which is you can find in the Bible in 3 John, okay, in 9:10, 9:10. You're not supposed to act like the Theophilus or a Pharisee or a scribe or the king of Gentiles, lord over. This not even a Christ-like attitude. It's not religion, it's civic is secular, but we get our culture from that, if you know what I mean. You guys, it's a Christian country. You're not acting like a Christian, okay? So, respect will go both ways, okay? When you out of line, so yes, Alton Sterling should went along and said, okay, sir, and all other stuff, and if he was abused, if he able to be allowed to be abused, because sometimes many people are not, on reality level, he can sue the police department, and he can sue the cop and get that person put out, and also call the mayor, because the mayor is in charge of the police department. That's their boss. If if the mayor's not doing good, get the city council, the Congress, and anybody, the governor, whatever, to get that person out of power. In the next election, get them out of power. Okay, that's one thing that voting is. One thing that I want to remind people, because people have to hear it clearly, which that was a setup, but a lot of our local votes didn't matter. Okay, I voted locally as well. Shout out to Kim Org. I voted for her. Okay, and she's Democrat. She beat Devin Anderson, who's a Republican and a Trump supporter. Okay, Harris can guess I did vote for Kim Org. Okay, your local votes matter because you think about presidential, but the people in the local area, they're the one who matter. You don't see the president every day. You see what I'm saying? So you get my point. Y'all need to teach your sons and daughters, particularly sons, who African descent, to start voting. I got my voting card when I was before I turned 18. Actually, back in '97. Okay, I'm a Leo, doing Leo season. Okay, doing August. Okay, before I turned 18, back in '97. The truth of the matter is, if you don't teach your kids to get in politics, this mess is going to go on. Okay, and you need to teach your kids. Talking about people African descent and also minorities, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, and Native American, whatever. The truth of the matter is, you don't teach them that, they're going to, even though he's older, talking about Alton story, if you're not involved, that's why I'm a very political person. It does matter. It matters what you eat, work, and law, and rights, and civil rights. This matters. This is your livelihood. Politics is your part of your livelihood. What guys people say, oh, we're talking politics. If you don't care, you're going to always run into problems. You see what I'm saying? Your livelihood, how you eat, how you breathe. You know what I'm saying? If you have corrupt people in power, you're going to have this problem. And that's why that Bloody Sunday votes didn't matter. There wouldn't be no Bloody Sunday. I went on Selma and walked. Okay, the historical moment, the 50th anniversary in Alabama. Y'all know I walked on Selma. Okay, if you don't teach your kids about voting, about civil rights, they're not going to respond well to this, and they're going to make mistakes and act irresponsible with a cop and everything else. You need to let them know their rights. Okay, besides I have Facebook, Instagram, okay, and all this other stuff. I also have the Texas penal codes and the laws, so I know my rights as a citizen, and also if anybody violate my rights. Okay, it's like carrying about. I also have the Bible on my phone. You get the Catholic version, of course. I'm a Catholic Christian. Perfect. In the catechism as well. Okay, on my phone. But the truth of the matter is, you need to have that on your phone. Also, my prayers, my novenas as well. But the point is, that's what's going on. Okay, if you're not knowledgeable with the law and how to respond to it, this was going to happen. And I'm blaming Alton. I also blame the cop because I'm being impartial as I can. Okay, because there was too many mistakes on both parts. But once again, as we held police in higher standard, they're supposed to live up to their higher standard. They're not supposed to be in the human, on the civilian level. I can't. If you're like a security officer, I can't go to someone and say, "Hey, fuck you," excuse me, cuss in here. Get your ass over here. That's unprofessional. That person's gonna respond because I went below the belt. You see what I'm saying? As a, what I'm saying, you're supposed to act respectable to another human being because your part is to protect. Even though I'm not a police officer, but if I came there, I went below my belt. I started acting like a regular person. You see what I'm saying? I started acting like a civilian. Okay, I dishonored myself, and that's what the cop did in this video, which caused this altercation. Okay, so both people was wrong, but it shouldn't lead to the point of killing somebody. And I think, in my opinion, that he intentionally did this. And this is my opinion. So he can cause a fight. And that's one thing, as brothers and anybody of color who get targeted, okay? And my record is clean, by the way, okay? We need to be smarter. Of course, we need to fight the good fight and fight against the enemy. Of course, I agree with that. But when it comes to these people in power, you got to be smarter than the devil. You know what I'm saying? And not to engage in it. I mean, I learned it as well as a bipolar type 1. Don't get me wrong, I am learning it as well. Okay? You got to be careful because these people are smart. They're not smart in an intelligent manner, but smart in an evil manner. They know every dirty trick. And in my opinion, I think the officer knew that he would approach this man to get him killed. One thing I had seen is on the internet back in 2003. I will share this on social media back in 2003. A white man had said, an anonymous white man said, if you want to kill a nigger, cause a scene with that nigger. and then shoot him and say that I felt unsafe. And the reason why I know this, because if he was a 100% Caucasian man, or in Louisiana, I'm mixed with Creole, you know, we got folks that look like white people, like, to all but to those who like West Nice in our community, okay, in our heritage, okay. If he looked white and didn't mention any black or either native, anything of color, okay, to the white man, or he was white, 100%, no mixture at all, okay, that man would approach him in a different manner. Because we know historically, and even it's evidence, and even white people who are just minded, who are not racist, will tell you how they're treated compared to their people of color, friends of color, should I say, okay? Among the authority, even amongst people of color who are workers' authority, okay? Because we've been brainwashed with white supremacy as well. We have, okay? So, but the truth of the matter is, the way how he approached the man was very unprofessional, which actually falls on him. He's authority. It's no different than scripture of 18 of Matthew, that whoever led these children to sin, they'll be thrown to the sea. And that's exactly what I saw here. He provoked the man, and you're not supposed to provoke people in that manner, okay? Of course, if it's a heat situation, if someone attacking somebody or acting recklessly, you try to stop that person. You try to take extreme action. But nothing was going on. There was no arguments in the beginning. And the man was sitting in his car. Okay? He was no sting operation to catch him doing drugs. Usually you do that situation. No. It was just like, let me arrest you, but I'm a harass you and provoke you to act a fool with me, so I can make excuses to kill you. And when it comes to me being tried by court, and I know you have to think ahead, y'all. Okay, we all humans. You gotta read you gotta examine their mindset. Okay, coach, you need to read a person's mind. We gotta read about. I read about this type of stuff. That's why I'm always talking about race. Y'all who get mad about me talking about race, excuse me, I live in a racist country. My freedom is under attack. Okay. I was a spoiled child growing up, but at the same time, everybody should be looking at this and be woke, okay? I should not be the only one around a circle that does this, okay? You know what I'm saying? But now you see why I do what I do, okay? And why my channel is focused on this. The whole campaign Trump was about race, okay? And this is about race. So if I was immune to it and ignored it, I'd be lost, okay? So that's why. But I'm letting you know, we need to start praying for these people to get out of power, okay? We got to have faith with works. The reason why we have been failing with religion, because faith without works, the Bible says faith without works is dead in James chapter 2, okay? Whoever lies and tells you that faith without works is dead, okay? We have to be the aid to a Psalms to defend those who are lowly. Y'all know that verse about defend those who are oppressed, okay? But we need to start fighting with spiritual power, because the physical we're not fighting, and not perfect, but it says in Ephesians, with St. Paul says that we're in the fight against power of principalities, okay? And that spirit that dude has, that's what we're fighting against, not the flesh. You see what I'm saying? We need to start being spiritual and start being woke, and then use our faith and what we want in life in action, okay? And take action, and to write to Congress, and write to to council. And if you think that person wants you to try to get involved in politics, and you be the politician, those who say we ain't gonna do nothing, well, stop being this is my phrase: be a do something, not a do nothing. Besides, the reason why they pick on us, because some of my people do not do nothing to fight for their rights. And it's funny, is men who say I'm tough. You see, that tough image didn't stop this man from getting shot. Stop being a winning syndrome slave. Physically weak, and physically strong, mentally weak, y'all. Okay, especially my brothers. Okay, you need to take extreme action legally. Okay, get a lawyer, sign up a legal shield, sell legal shield. Okay, get with the ACLU, the Human Rights Coalition. Get involved, political, so our children will not go through this. But at the same time, we have to respond to the cops. Not to kiss up. I'm saying it's about being smart. It's different between being cool and being smart. Being smart, you're dealing with like a pit bull and a human body. Okay, you're not gonna go after a pit bull and try to attack it. No, it's gonna attack you and eat you up. So what you do is act calm and try to avoid, not to avoid the cop, but try to avoid any conflict with the cop, because you're dealing with a person who acts like a devil. Okay, and usually you're not gonna attack the devil, knowing that you playing with the devil when you do it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I make my mistakes in my errors on my videos, but we get to that point, we can put the test, okay, and think smart with a test so we can pass it. So that's what my thing I have to say about the whole Alton Sterling. And I want people to understand that I do not like what the cop did this, but at the same time we got to take personal responsibility. It's a dual situation here. That's my take, but we need to also start getting involved politically. Okay, no more thugging. Those who do, okay, no more hood ratting. Okay, I don't say all of us do, but no more say I ain't gonna do nothing about it, because when you don't do anything about it, you can't complain. You don't vote, can't complain. You don't take action, can't complain. You also, it's like if a roach was coming to your apartment and there's tons of them, you sitting there not doing anything, you can't just get mad at the roaches. You allow them in. Allow them to populate. So you gotta kill, right? You gotta take action, okay? This is what you gotta do. Start voting against the people next election who allowed this to happen. Okay? Start writing Congress. Start getting human rights involved. Get the United Nations involved. And this mess will end. Because if you don't believe it's going to end, there's no reason to complain about it. Okay? I don't want to hear about some brother with some fiddler mentality talking about it's going to be that way. Well, if it's going to be that way, don't complain about it. But don't try to stop the next brother who man enough to try to fight against it. Now I want to be the one that's man enough to fight against it. I don't want to go to this future. You have a choice. If you allow things to happen to you, then you just as guilty of it too. Either we just fight for our rights, or we just leave the country, which I don't mind leave the country. Y'all scared to leave the country. I'm not. Because I know on the other side of that fence, there's good things in there. You got to put things positive. You know? God made this big old earth for one thing. It didn't get made for you to stay in America. You won't be confined to live in America where it's racist. There's no reason to complain about racism when you're not doing anything about it. You're not talking about it. You're not talking about solutions of it. You're just in the corner complaining. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving advice to get the solution, trying to meet. That's one thing I get tired of people with those who complain about racism and the white man, but they're not trying to stop white supremacy. They're scared. They'll attack another brother or sister who's trying to find a way to stop this. You know? So, that's why. But I'm letting y'all know that you're dealing with a demonic entity. Okay? And this man who is very self-righteous is in charge. I suggest that our young people get involved in the police department. Okay? Before they turn 18, do not commit any crimes. Start racing to be a police department, because this is our country. We are Americans. Okay? If you're not American, what the heck you're doing here? You know, I get tired of hearing we're not American, we're African. Okay, well, why you're not getting boats, planes, GoFundMe pages to try to get us planes to move out? Why are we still confined to this area if it's so wrong? Because I never ask that question to people. You talking about you don't have if you don't have no solution, please don't talk to me. Okay? You have a helpless talk. I don't want to hear no helpless talk, because you're like a stone block, like Fiddler and Roots. Okay? You know, I think above my situation. Okay? And I live through my passion. Okay? And I leave you hanging since you don't want me to have nothing. Okay? You know what I'm saying? That's how I am. So, but both parties were wrong, but I had to say, as the professional, he was more wrong how he handled it. It'd be different if Alton Sterling, if the cop came in calm and was nice, and Alton starts cursing him out and just being belligerent towards the cop, then yeah, I can understand him getting ugly, okay? But he approached Alton, okay? And it led to this scandal. Okay? That he should throw a rock with a stone on his head. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's not to get biblical, but that's the truth. Okay? And one thing I get tired of people throwing, even with parents. We are talking about our children, this and that, or someone that's under their authority, you know, who's an underdog, this and that. But if you're provoking the problem, and I even saw this on Dr. Phil's show, it was a Caucasian girl. She was 21 years old, and she was hard to get along. She was living in her parents' house, which is, if she had potential to move out, please move out, okay? Don't stay at your parents' house. And the dad was getting tired, but we saw a video where the dad started acting ugly towards her, and she don't respond to authority that well. And what Dr. Fields was right. You're provoking her to do that, so you're not gonna get anything done. So y'all keep talking about that you have a right. No, you don't. You slow y'all wrong. You're humans. Respect goes both ways. I get tired of people want partiality. That's when you say one side has respect than the other. That's partiality. Okay, and that's what I saw in the beginning. The fact is, I'm not sure partiality. The cop came to him acting aggressive and acting ugly with him, and it wasn't extremely aggressive, like to extreme, but it was a moderate aggression to it. It would pop someone off if you about to get arrested. If I said, hey, it's a bomb in the house, you're going to automatically, and there's no bomb. You know what I'm saying? You know, the way how that he did it caused him to react in that manner. It wasn't say, sir, how you doing? Are you Alton Sterling? You know, okay, well, I'm sir, I'm officer, whatever. And I have a warrant for your arrest. We have, you know, our department have you listed for this problem, that you commit this crime here, and I have to take you in. Then if he would have ran in a, okay, then you don't shoot a person. You track him down and you tase him. The only time you shoot a person if your life is threatened. And yes, he was wrong for grabbing that. But once again, we got to go back to what provoked the situation. You know why I talk bad about bad parents? And it's not the title. It's how they handle their title. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want no stewardship handle title as a, to me, being demonic to me. Because they're not teaching right. You can't put a spinner out of my eye when you got wood being yours. And he had a big wood being his. Okay? And that's what was wrong with the situation. It's sad that many people don't see that, but I saw that. And I saw that the fact that the unprofessionalism led to this murder. And if he wasn't unprofessional, Alton Sterling would be locked up right now. Okay? It would be alive right now. And also, too, it wouldn't lead to the point of the Alton Sterling wanting to grab. Because that's what's going to happen. But they know about how to provoking people. One thing you guys think, they do teach some type of psychology in police academy, as I was told. And even though you deal with people with this PTSD syndrome, along with racist bias, homophobia, all this, even religious bias towards Jews, Catholics, you know, anybody, Muslims, you got people there, you got all this. And one thing that I don't like, the fact they don't examine these people. I have to give a discernment, and you have to give a discernment in the police force, who they're hiring, because you just can't put anybody on the police force and it's crazy. It's scheming for security as hell. It's psychomaniacs. You don't want taxpayer dollars to go to, and actually it is a waste of taxpayer dollars, because not only that they're corrupting the police force, but the person who, let's say Alton Sterling's family can sue the police force how negligent they handle the situation. In the class action suit, is it worth it losing millions of dollars or thousands of dollars? No. So handle things, but you stop hiring people who are thugs. In this situation, yeah, Alton Sterling may have a thug personality in the past, but the professional, supposed to be professional, was being a thug, which led to this situation. Y'all know me, I don't play that bad authority of any color. You know what I mean? Say the psychotic aunt, your mamas, and you know I said all of my video, because I'm talking about the attitude of the person, and I don't want nobody being a demonic person trying to teach you right. Okay? If you're a demonic person, please get away from me, because that's the case I get Satan to be my authority. Okay? If you want to act angelic, I can understand, because actually it is one thing that people say they're more Christian than I am. I never understood, if you're more Christian I am, why you don't fit into the criteria of St. Timothy, chapter 2, 24, 26 to 25. about the slave of the Lord corrects in meekness or kindness. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see that with these people who go to church every Sunday, even going to church this Easter Sunday, who work in the police department. I see a lot of, once I'm Christian outside, I'm the devil, and I'm in charge, and I want to be the tyrant. And I'm seeing this tyrant attitude of, it's not just the white officers, it's the African Hispanic ones. And I don't want nobody teach me in a tyrannical manner. Okay? I don't want nobody. They're just as human. They forget that that title does not make them God. And they're just as humans. Are they not humble themselves like Jesus told the Pharisees? That's how I gotta put it. I had to go spiritual. It's the Holy Week, y'all. I ain't the perfect one. I know I'm saying a lot, but my spirit is talking to me. Okay? So that's why I'm coughing up this my conscience right now. Okay? So that's why I'm saying that, y'all. So what do you think? Do you think that my observation and how I looked at it, you know, because I'm biased on a racial base, I'm looking at also in the human situation. I'm also looking at it because I'm a person of color. I don't look like my white ancestors, okay? But I've been approached, even though I'm American clean, I don't participate in criminal activity, but I've been approached by African officers who my shade and lighter and also dark, okay, with this ugly attitude. I'm like, brother, why are you talking to me that way? If you know what I'm saying, and I can't be in the same pot with you as brothers, because anybody talks to me that way, and y'all know me, I know you're supposed to forgive people, but I'm a doorman version of it. But I don't comfort anybody who's ugly towards me, period, because I see as a human before your badge or title. If you don't fit into your title and a good character, no respect, which is in this situation why he got no respect from from Alton, because he had no respect. You know, he lost his title the way he act, and that's one thing that needs to be known. But at the same time, when we deal with these demonic forces in the flesh, we have to act accordingly to save our lives. It's not coonery, okay? Go ahead and take the bullet if you call it coonery, okay? But, you know, there's times I felt suicidal due to all the abuse I've been through, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm not going through those things, I want to be alive the next day to see the outcome. That's all I have to say. Boy, y'all have a nice day.